Uh, so it's the last day of the year and time for some statistics regarding Israel. So in the year 2024, 82,700 Israelis chose to leave, left Israel. Um, Despite the 82,700 who left, it's a miracle because despite the war, rockets, attacks, 32,800 people have decided to move to Israel. So there are more people leaving than coming, but you have to think of the quality. If you don't want to live here, don't be here. So 10 million people live here. 7,707,700 are Jewish, 76.9% of the population. 2,104,000 are Arabs, Muslims, 21%. Then you have 2.1% others, 216,000. So there's 1.1% increase at the end of 2024 growth, but it's still, we have more people leaving than coming this year. 23,800 chose to come back. And you know, those people who left, you don't know if they're actually coming back or not. Because once they discovered that there's not a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, they might be coming back. So as for birth, we have 181,000 babies being born. 76% are Jewish, 24% are Arabs, Muslims, I don't know. Death, 51,400 died. Since October 7th, 2023, 1,870 soldiers and citizens have been killed in the war. So all in all, if you think about the big numbers, we're doing not so bad. Just I wanted to add that 100,000 dogs are being killed every year. I don't know how it was this year because they cannot find a home. So once you take a dog, make sure it's forever. It's not just for a while. Reasons for being in Israel for me. It's my culture. I was born here. It's my language. I love Israeli music. I like speaking my mother tongue, even though my mother tongue is German, Hungarian, maybe Russian, Ukrainian. If you go far back, probably Yiddish. It's one of the languages I speak. It's different when I speak English, and it's different when I speak Hebrew. Most of the time it's sunny, which is really good for anyone who's experiencing difficulties with the weather. When I lived in places that didn't have the sun, I experienced psychosomatic diseases. I had like a lot of flu. I was sick a lot because I need the sun. That's why in yoga we have salutation to the sun. The sun is very important. People are relatively open. You can speak to most people. We have really nasty people, but we have really, really nice and kind people, right? People won't complain about your dog, so you have to move, which happened to me several times in Europe. Nobody will tell you to leave because of a barking dog or a child that's making noise. Who's making noise? It's a child-friendly society. What else? I found a lot of books. Like I've never found so many great books to read on the street, like in brand new books in literature and philosophy, clothing and furniture. This is a great place to find things in the street. If you're fond of recycling, what else can we say is good? It's not like a big place, so you don't feel lost and alienation. And so many synagogues. If you want to go to a synagogue, you always will find a synagogue that you like, more or less. Yeah, I like synagogues where they sing and they're vegetarian, and I found that. What else? I like that I'm not forced to celebrate Christmas, which is a holiday which is for me consumerism. I think it's not really about the birth of Jesus, it's more about buying things. And the kids that are brought up on gifts and buying and presents are not going to do too well, I think, as human beings go, because in life you don't get presents all the time and you don't buy constantly. Yeah, so there are many reasons to be here. The sun, people are friendlier than usual, than the norm. You can always find someone to talk to. Maybe not a friend for long term, but yeah. The sun, again, I said, is very important. I love Israeli music. Yeah, the fact that you can be outside a lot. You're not stuck indoors. You don't need to heat up your apartment even most of the time, right? Well, maybe a little bit. Yeah, and I found this dog, and I have a cat, and I have a happy life, and there are people that are really nice people, and yeah. And as Amos Oz, the famous writer, Israeli writer, said, in Israel it's a very unique place. People will always help you if you fall, but they'll knock you down first. So, yeah, I mean, not everybody's nice, but there's always somebody who will lend a hand and help you get up. And somehow, if you tell people you need help, they will definitely give you a hand. I mean, I had a time when I didn't have furniture and I found stuff on the street, and I always stopped a young person, men usually, and they almost always were willing to take it, like 1 or 2 streets. Always. You'll never find this anywhere in the world, I think, in Europe or in the US, I think. Right, Shiva? And wonderful dogs. You can adopt a dog or a cat. And I wish you a great 2025. I'm really hoping it's going to get better. And think about, what country are there rocket attacks, constant rocket attacks, and people still want to come here? 32,800 people wanted to make this country their home, knowing they're under rocket attack. That takes a lot of courage, or maybe there's something good in Israel. Right, Shiva? Shiva, say hello. What are you doing? Shiva, what are you... Shiva, look. She doesn't want to look. Anyway, have a good 2025. We have also 2 New Years. We have Rosh Hashanah, which we already have on September, October, and then we have the 1st of the 1st, which is Shiva's birthday. She's 3 years old. 3 years of joy. Not only joy, but a lot of joy. Look at me. Beautiful doggy.